Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? So we have already completed relations. This is the topic related to it only. Won't take much time. Okay. So now that we have understood what is relation is a subset of Cartesian product A cross B. Okay. In the previous class, we learned about how to find the domain and range of relation. In today's class, we will be studying about functions and some of the operations based on them. Okay. And this will be over. So a relation f from a set A to set B is said to be a function if every element of set A has one and only one image in B. Simple definition. Let us try to understand this with the help of a diagram. Note, suppose that we have two sets A and B, and let us say some of the elements of A are 1, 2, and 3, and let's say B has the elements 4, 6, and 10. Okay. This is actually called arrow diagram or mapping, where sets are represented by these circles. The element represent there may be some alphabets or anything. Okay, whatever is written inside there, elements of the set. And now we are going to make some arrows here. Say like this. Okay. Then it is an example of a function. It is an example of a function. Because see, what is the definition? A relation f from a set A to set B is said to be a function if every element of set A has one and only one image in set B. This is important. So here f is a function from A to B. And how we write this thing? This means that f of 1, see this thing is now a function and it is from set A to set B. So if I put anything here in this bracket, see this bracket where I have written 1, then the output will be the image of this value. Image is shown by the arrows. So if I ask what is f of 1, then the value will be 6 as shown in the arrow diagram. Similarly, if I want to find f2,
काय झालं क्लास सुरू आहे हा
please mute yourself.
माहिती असतं रे हो मगाचपासून
If I want to find f2, if I want to find f2, then we will see the direction of the arrow and it is pointing towards 4. So f2 is 4. And similarly, f3 is 10. Okay. This is the way to express a function. Now, the values of A are selected, but value of B comes according to the relation or with the help of these arrows. Okay. And the definition is clearly satisfied, which says that every element of set A, has one and only. Please wait, just try to understand first what you want to scroll up and down. Just let me explain the thing. So if every element of set A has one and only one image in set B, okay, has only one image in set B. So as you can see, the element 1 of set A has only one image, that is 6. Element 2 of set A has only one image, that is 4. Element 3 has only one image, that is 10. So that is why it is an example of a function. Okay, keep this in mind. And this is the way to write the values: f of 1 6, f of 2 4, f of 3 10. Okay, this arrangement is called arrow diagram or mapping, and we generally use this to represent a relation or a function. Here we are talking about function. Okay, now if you want to note down anything, you can note.
Can you please scroll up a bit?
What's there before functions? Yesterday's class.
So no, I joined it, sir. So I
It's
could not
written
see.
here only, so that is your problem. You should join at the proper time. It's written functions, and then I have just explained only the definition.
Done, sir.
All right. Okay, let us take some other example. Suppose there is a set A and there is this set B, and let's say the elements are. We can write anything in this set. Okay, that depends what are the elements. Let's say this time we are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, and suppose that here we have these 5 elements here. And let us draw the diagram first. These are the arrows, and now you have to tell is the above mapping a function. So what will be your answer? Who will tell me this?
No, sir.
What is the reason?
So one of the element has two images.
Yes, correct, absolutely correct. Not a function from A to B, not a function from A to B, as one has two images, that is 5, and so it is not satisfying the definition of functions. Okay, one has image 5 as well as 6, that is okay. Let us take another example. Think before you give the answer. Okay, what about this one? Is there a function? Think and then only answer. Yes,
Yes.
what will be your... Yes, now it is a function. Yes, it is a function from A to B, because see, one has only one image. Only one image, that is 5. Two also has
Your
only one
voice
image,
is
5. This
breaking
is...
a little.
I don't think others
Yes,
are
sir, it is
giving the
breaking,
answer.
sir.
So what about
Yes,
others?
sir.
Is it so?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it is breaking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, anyone? Am I audible or not?
Yes,
Your
sir.
voice is still cracking.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So what about this one? It is a function from A to B because see, 1 has only one image, that is 5. 2 has only one image, that is 5. 3 has one image, 6. And 4 has only one image, that is 8. That is 8. So that is why it is also a case of functions. Okay. Now after this, we will learn how to add, subtract, multiply and divide functions. So this is just a notation. Okay, we will take examples on this. Addition. If something is written like this, f plus gx. If something is written like this, okay, you find something like this, then it simply means that it is addition of fx plus gx. See what happens. They will give you some different functions, like they will give you a function x plus 1, and they will, can give you some trigonometric function, let's say simply sin x. Okay. And if in the question it is asked find f plus g, okay, then they are asking you to simply add these two functions. So what is f plus g means? F plus g means fx plus gx. Okay, that means here in this question it will be x plus 1 plus sin x. I'm just telling you this thing because of the notation. If someone writes f plus g, that means he want you to add these two functions. Similarly, now you will understand.
I do not understand the second question that you are given.
Which question?
So is this mapping of function from A to B possible? Is it true?
You know the definition.
Yes,
If
sir.
you know the definition, then what is the problem? Why, according to you, it is not a function?
So not like I don't understand, sir. I got
One,
disconnected when.
one has image 5, 2 has image 5. Each element is having only one image in another set. Simple. So 1 has only one image, that is 5. Okay. 2 has only one image, that is 5. Same number can be image of two different numbers. It is okay. But we should look from set A to set B. In set A, every element must have one and only one image in another set. And that is happening here. 1 is having image 5, 2 is having image 5, 3 is having image 6, 4 is having image 8. Okay, that is what is a function.
Okay, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay. Then see, here we are talking about the notations for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay. So these are the notations. Okay. Do not get confused. This simply means addition. This is addition. Okay. This is subtraction. This is division of the two functions which will be given in the question. F by g means fx upon gx, and fgx means fx into gx. This is just a notation, nothing else. You are simply supposed to add, subtract, multiply, or the given two functions. That's it, nothing else. Now what happens? See, generally when a function is defined from set A to set B, is defined from set A to set B, then members of set A are called domain. Okay, members of set A are called domain, and these values are represented by, I will give you an example, represented by X, and members of B, which are images, members of B which are images, okay, not all the members which are images, are called range, and they are represented by Y, because in the question you will be asked to find the domain range, okay, just like in the case of relations, and the function is written in the form and the function is written in the form y equals fx. What I have written, whenever a function is defined from set A to set B, members of set A, they are called domain, okay, they are represented by x. Members of set B, which are images, they are called range, they are represented by y, okay, the output, and the function is written in the form y equals x. If I want to explain this whole thing, I will take example of a mapping. Let us draw a mapping first. Let us take simple elements and simple relation between them. Suppose this is the given mapping, which is from A to B. Clearly it is a function because each element is having a unique image, or one and only one image in set B. Now, domain. If I want to express domain, then it will be set A. That means 1, 2, 3. That is what I have written. Okay. Domain is values of x, and values of x come from set A. So what are range? Range are images. I hope you understand what are images, where the arrow stops or terminates. So members of set B, which are images, which are 2, 4, and 6 here. And finally, function is written in the form y equals fx. Now I have a question for you. Can anyone tell me from this mapping diagram that what is the relation between y and x? It is very simple to identify. What is relation between y and x here? What
Multiplied
is,
by 2
sorry, can you repeat?
into 2.
Yes, correct. Very simple.
Yes.
So y is fx is equal to 2x. That means whatever x is there, the output is twice of it. So it is very simple or very easy to observe from the given mapping. This is domain, this is range, this is function. Okay. If someone asks what are the values of x here, so answer will be 1, 2, 3. What are the values of y? Y is 2, 4, and 6. What is the function? Y is fx equals 2x. If you want, you can write it like this also. If someone asks what is f of 1, then answer will be, this is the input, this is the output. Okay. F of 1 is 2. F of 2 is 4. F of 3 is 6. Like this we represent. Okay. Is it clear? See, this is the point. If someone wants to note down anything, you can note. So what will happen in the question? They will find you the domain. They will ask you to find the domain and range of the function. Okay. So basically, there is an important point to remember. Domain. Okay. Domain is values of x. Once again, I am writing the definition. It is already from set A only, and they later become values of x. We represent domain by x. Okay. So values of x for which fx is defined. Now you know what is defined and not defined, right? Values of x for which fx is defined, or we say y equals fx is defined. So this is domain. Now we are going to solve some questions on domain, and you will see that it is something which is related to our previous chapters. Okay, like for example, if y equals x upon x square plus 3x plus 2, then find domain of y or fx, whatever you say. Y is fx only. Okay, now they have given some function from their side. Okay, y is equal to x upon something, and on the basis of that you have to find the domain of y. And what is domain? Domain are the values of x for which fx is defined. Now I have a question for you. Now see, this function is in the form numerator upon denominator. So can you tell me from your knowledge, whatever you have gained till class 11, till previous chapter, what will be that situation when this thing will become undefined? Can anyone tell me?
So -1 and -2 is equal to
Minus
f.
1 and minus 2, that is correct. And how you have got it? What is the reason behind it?
The quadratic equation is like the factors and then the denominator can't be 0.
Very good. See, this is the thing. Now, there is nothing new about denominator. It is very simple. Anyone can tell that for y to be defined, for this thing to be meaningful, denominator should not be 0. Denominator should not be, okay. That means x square plus 3x plus 2 should not be equal to 0. So you will solve this thing with equal to 0, okay, and you will find the values of x which make it 0, and those values will come out to be -1 and -2 by the factorization, okay. But they are saying that this expression should not be equal to 0, and it is becoming 0 at -1 and -2. Therefore x should not be equal to -1 and -2. But the question is, what is the domain? Okay, they are not asking that x cannot be equal to, or it cannot assume which values. Question is, it can assume which values, that you have to tell. So from here, what you have calculated, that it will be defined only when x is not assuming these two values. Rest everywhere it is okay. Answer will be x belongs to all real numbers. Okay, x belongs to all real numbers except these two values. Except these two values. This is the domain of this function. Have you understood? Anyone having any doubt? Anyone having any doubt in this question? Because it is very basic concept. Whenever something is expressed in numerator upon denominator, we generally say that denominator should not be 0. And that is what we have used here. From here, we get the information that x should not be equal to -1 and -2. And what is x ultimately? It is domain. And that is what we are supposed to find in this question. So if x cannot be equal to these two values, that means it can have any other value except them. Any other value means all the real numbers except these two numbers. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So after R, that is minus sign, no?
This sign after R, the minus
Yeah.
sign is used to represent that from this whole set we are excluding these two numbers. That is why we use negative sign here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Now I am taking two questions here in a particular part. We have to find domain and range both of the function y equals mod of x minus 4 upon x minus 4. This is the question. First, we will solve domain, which is very easy here. Domain. Who will tell me what is the domain of this function?
So x belongs to R minus 4.
Yes, correct. Good. See, for domain, denominator should not be 0. Denominator should not be 0. Should not be 0.
Excuse me,
This
sir.
means, yes, what happened?
Sir, for the previous question, x cannot belong to complex number.
No. Whenever we talk about defined values, no, we are especially talking about real numbers only. See, whenever this thing is coming, no, defined, okay, defined, defined always means real numbers. For complex numbers, we only talk about that chapter only when we are studying that chapter. Nowhere else you will find complex numbers, okay. So here, by this term, defined means we are only talking about real numbers. So R will be the biggest possible set, okay, nothing beyond that. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So denominator should not be 0. That means x minus 4 not equal to 0. X not equal to 4. Which means x cannot assume just this value. Rest all the values are possible. So that means all values except 4. When I have to write except in sets, I use this minus sign. Okay. X belongs R minus except this value which is 4. And we write these values in curly braces because they are limited number of values, finite number of values. This we have already discussed. Now, what about the range? Think for a moment that range are values of y. Okay, range are values of y, and you have to find the values of y. Just think and for a moment, and then we will discuss about it.
I came like so late.
Yes, you can give your answers. What about range? Anyone? Range is values of y. If you have the knowledge about the modulus, you will give this answer very easily. See, it is clear that x cannot be 4. Okay, and we just explained this thing that x can have any value. There are two situations. If x cannot be 4, either it will be greater than 4 or it will be less than 4. Right or wrong? Because see, x cannot be 4. It cannot have just this value, rest all the values are possible. So all those values will be either greater than 4 or less than 4. Now, if x is greater than 4, what about y? Who will tell me how
So
this
x belongs
modulus
to
sign will open? No, tell me this. If x is greater than 4, how this modulus sign will open? We have already discussed these things in modulus in quadratic equation chapter.
positive.
Yes. If x is greater than 4, that means x minus 4 is a positive value. And if it is a positive value, there is no need to write a modulus sign. And what you see as a result, that same terms are appearing in numerator and denominator. That's why value will be 1. And when x is less than 4, when x is a value which is less than 4, in that case x minus 4 will become a negative value. Okay, and if x minus 4 is a negative value but modulus gives a positive value always, so how will it open? It will open with a negative sign, right? So that the final output is positive. This we have already discussed so many times, and this will come out to be minus 1 only. So who will tell me now what is the range? What is the range? Y set of y is
Equal to 1. So if y is equal to
Yes. So y belongs to or y equal to what are the values finally? Because the range is values of y.
So minus 1 comma 1.
Correct. Minus 1 comma 1. Because see, whenever you are taking any x which is greater than 4, the output is always 1. And whenever you are taking any value which is less than 4, the output is minus 1. You should understand that domain is values of x. We put values of x from our side considering the domain or the values that it can have, and y will come on the basis of values of x that can be put here. It was modulus sign here, and we all know that modulus either opens as it is or it opens with a negative sign depending on the sign or the value inside the
how did
modulus.
minus 1?
This we have already discussed. So what you will get when you will cancel these two, you will get some other number.
So
When
how
you
did
will cancel
minus 1?
x minus, have you studied modulus?
Yes, sir.
So if x is less than 4, which is the case here, this one, the below one, okay. So when x is less than 4 and we are subtracting 4 from this x, so what type of value will come, negative or positive?
It's negative, but the modulus will make it positive.
Give a positive value. That is why when modulus will be removed, we will have to put a negative sign such that this whole value is positive. Got it?
Okay, yes, sir.
All right. So this thing is from modulus topic, and we even learned wavy curve method and so many things. At that time, I have taught you all these concepts. So finally, range came out to be minus 1, comma 1 in the braces, right? So you'll find these type of questions in NCERT. Okay, then there is this question. If fx equals x minus 1 by x cube, then fx plus f of 1 upon x equals, and the options are 2x cube, B option 2 by x cube, C option 0, D option is 1. Fx is given and you have to find fx plus f of 1 upon x. Okay, so here fx is clear. Fx is given actually. Fx is x cube minus 1 upon x cube. From this relation only, we are going to find f of 1 by x. Can you tell me how? How we'll find f of 1 by x?
So reciprocal of the thing.
Yes, correct. Because see, whatever x is here, its cube is here and its cube is coming here. So if in place of x I put y, suppose I am using y in place of x, then it will become fy and output will be y cube minus 1 by y cube. Suppose I write t, so f of t will be t cube minus 1 by t cube by the given relation. Now they want to replace x by 1 by x. So let us do it. Let us replace x by 1 by x. Okay. Let us replace like this. Now we will simplify. So what will happen? F of 1 by x will come out to be 1 by x whole cube will be 1 by x. And second part, it will become x 1 upon x cube. That is, this is your second equation. In the question, we are asked to add these two. I don't think so. It is any problem.
Hey, your voice is
So,
breaking.
Yes, sir. Yes,
still
sir.
it
Your
is
voice
breaking.
is breaking.
Okay, just okay. Wait for 10 to 15 minutes. Please manage because it's not a very lengthy chapter. It will be of no sense if I terminate the class right now. Hardly 10 to 15 minutes chapter is left. Okay. Because today there is some network issue. So try to understand whatever I'm teaching right now. Okay, what about the answer? Fx plus f of 1 by x. At least you can understand
So
whatever I
C.
am trying to ask here. So answer will be 0. And it is not that tough. Because see, fx is given. To find f of 1 by x, I replaced x by 1 upon. Then I simplified the equation and I gave it equation number 2. And now we have to add these two equations. So what will happen? Terms will cancel each other. This x cube will be cancelled by minus x cube and minus 1 upon x cube will be cancelled by 1 by x cube. Overall, you will get the answer 0, which is C option. Okay. At least you can try to understand the question itself from the screen, whatever explanation I am giving. The questions are not tough, they're simple. Just you need to understand the notations and everything. Another question. This is based on the algebra, addition, subtraction, like that. Two functions are given. Fx is this, gx is 3x plus 5. Then let us find two parts, f of minus 2 plus g of minus 1. You can solve them very easily. Just tell me what are the answers. And second part is f half 10 to g of 14. Tell me what are the answers. Yes, first part.
13.
So what is the meaning of f of minus 2? F of minus 2 means minus 2 whole square plus 7, which will be 4 plus 7, that is 11. Okay. What is g of minus 1? Now in place of x, you will put minus 1. So this will come out to be 2. Okay. Finally, you have to add these two. So 11 plus 12, 13. Simple. Similarly, you can find next question. F of half. F of half means 1 by 2 whole square plus 7. So that will be 29 by 4. And g of 14 is 3 into 14 plus 5. So this will come out to be how much? 47. 47. Finally, write these values. And now you can simplify it to get the answer. Okay. Leave it like this. So these questions are very simple. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me the domain of this function or how to find the domain? Domain means real values. First thing is real. The word is real. Okay. And secondly, real values for which function is defined. Now, you know, define values in mathematics. Okay. Nothing new. This is the question. So, what is the meaning of this question? Domain of this question is very simple. What are those values of x which we are allowed to put here, or for which this thing will become meaning? And by looking at the symbol, I don't think it will be a very difficult thing for you. Who will tell me how to find the domain? Yes, anyone.
1 to infinity.
Very good. Very good. And how you have calculated?
Belongs
Can you just
to
explain?
L.
Yeah, answer is already there. Yes. How you got the answer? 1 to infinity is correct. But can you give the explanation?
That's the denominator.
Denominator. Is denominator there in this question? Yes.
Square root
How
of
we got
negative
the
number
answer?
is not defined.
Very good. Square roots. Square roots. Think you have studied this thing in class 10th also. In nature of roots topic, there anything under a square root, if it came to be negative, then roots were non-real. And we are talking about real values. So square roots are defined when numbers inside them are non-negative, right? Numbers inside them are non-negative. Now here the term or number or expression, whatever you say, inside root is x minus. That is why it should be non-negative. Non-negative means it should be greater than or equal to 0. It cannot be, we cannot write these values here where x minus 1 becomes negative because square root of negative number is not defined. Okay. And values of x are domain. Now we have this answer and you have already studied inequalities. And in inequalities chapter, I told you how to write this, how to write this information in terms of intervals. We have already discussed how to express this. X belongs 1 close to infinity open, if you remember this. Is it clear? Anyone having any doubt? Yes, anyone having any doubt in this question? Is it clear or not? Simple concepts of mathematics are used to find the domain. By logic and common sense also you can find these values. Square roots, negative values not allowed. Denominator, that thing cannot be zero. Simple basic concepts. With the help of those concepts we can find the domain easily. No problem at all. Okay, what about this question? We have to find the range of, sometimes I'll write fx, sometimes I'll write y because both of them are have same meanings. That is why. You have already studied trigonometry. And the same question, the type of questions we discussed in trigonometry. We have to find the range. Who can tell this? Who will explain? Or how to start this question? If we have to find the range. Range means y, the whole thing, fx, final values. Not x. I'm talking about fx or y. Its values, which are called range. Yes, any one of you. Do you remember anything about cos x? We learned its graphs and everything, so many things about cos x.
So its range is from -1 to 1.
Yes. So we will start the question from there only. Now this is nothing new. We have already learned this in trigonometry chapter. Because this is trigonometric function, you should try to understand that there are so many type of functions. You will study them in detail in class 12. This is just a basic introduction. Trigonometric function like sin x. If someone asks you what is sin x, it is trigonometric function. What is logarithm? It is logarithmic function. What is modulus? Modulus is a function. So in class 12, you will learn in great detail about each and every type of function and its properties. Only very elementary introduction is there. Okay. So I'm not going into the details of every topic, just that for school exams only. In 12th, this will be the first chapter. It will take a lot of time. So we start from here. That cos x is from -1 to 1. But we have to find the range of 1 plus 3 cos x and not simply cos x. So what we will do, the next step will be to multiply everything by 3. I told you whenever we multiply any inequality by a positive number, sign will not change. Okay, multiplying by a positive number, sign won't change. So I have multiplied all the three sides 3 only. Sign is not changing. Finally, the last step, adding 1 to each number. Adding 1 to each number. Again, sign won't change because we are adding the same number to all the sides. This come out to be minus 2. This is 1 plus 3 cos x. This is what? This is your fx. And what about 1 plus 3? This will be 4. So what you have got? You have got the interval of fx or the values of fx, and that is what is required in the question. So what is the range? Range is minus 2 to 4. So you will have to start the question from here. This thing you already know that cos x, its least value is minus 1 and greatest value is 1. With the help of this base function, you will create this entire expression by multiplying something, adding something, whatever is present in the question itself. Okay. So the range of this question comes out to be minus 2 close to 4 close. Any doubt in this question? Okay, then I'm taking the last question for today. That will be it. The question is, if fx equals y equals ax minus b upon cx minus a, then prove that f of y is equal to x. F of y is equal to x. This is the question. You concentrate on this term. F of x is equal to some expression is given. We already know that fx is y only. Okay. Important is this. Fx is this. So fx comes out to be, fx is actually given ax minus b upon cx minus a. But in the question we have to find f of y. Therefore f of y will be, that means what is the meaning of f of y? You replace x by y everywhere. So it will come out to be ay minus b upon cy minus a. Okay. But this is not what we have to prove. We have to prove that it comes out to be x. But the expression is coming in terms of y. So what we will do, we'll go back to the question and we'll see that y is related to x by the help of this relation. Okay, that y is in place of y. Now we are going to put ax minus b upon cx minus a. Wherever you see this term y, you replace it by the given relation between the two, that is y and x. So in place of y, I'm writing this expression. Now you just simplify it and you'll get the answer. Let us simplify. Let us multiply a first. So this will be a square x minus ab. Then you multiply b with cx minus a. I'm taking LCM, nothing else. Just the basic LCM and multiplication. This is acx minus b into c minus a into cx minus a upon cx minus a. This gets cancelled. Now the numerator, a square x minus ab minus b into c into x plus ab. Denominator, acx minus b into c minus a into cx plus a square. So I think this gets cancelled. Acx gets cancelled. We are left with a square x minus b into cx upon
Can you
a
please
square
solve?
minus b into c. Wait a minute. Then last step, we take a square minus bc common, x is remaining, and a square minus bc will get cancelled from numerator and denominator, and that comes out to be x, and that is what we were supposed to prove. So these steps are of no use. Main is the concept, which is like fx is given, which is ax minus b upon cx minus a. We are supposed to find f of y. So first thing, what we will do, we will replace x by y. Okay, replace x by y, we get this. But we have to find the answer in terms of x. So what we will do, we will use the values of y from the given result only. That is, y is ax minus b upon cx minus a. Putting this value here. Now rest everything is calculation. Okay, taking the LCM, cancelling the common terms or common factors, whatever, and you go on simplifying. Ultimately x will be remaining, and that is what you are supposed to prove. Okay, So this is it. Just few questions of domain and range may be there. Okay. And then some type of these questions based on algebra, addition, subtraction, or like these questions where you have to replace x by something. Just these 3-4 basic types are there to solve your textbook. Okay. And that will be sufficient for your school exams. In class 12th, we are going to study this chapter function in a great detail. It will take around a month or so. It is a very big chapter where we study about each chapter in a each function in a great detail. Okay. But from school point of view, it is sufficient. So that's it for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Sir, will you be teaching us logarithms?
I will see later on because I don't know how much part is like, you have not attended. So I will not be able to tell you right now. But in the backup class, we will be first starting with that HP. Okay. Then we will
Okay.
see whatever part is remaining, we will cover it. Once the classes come in offline mode or something, we may arrange extra classes as well. Okay. Just wait for some time. Don't worry, everything will be covered. Okay. It is just a matter of few days. When you will
Okay.
be having a regular classes, no, so don't worry about the chapters or anything. If something is weak or you are not able to attend or you attended late, everything will be covered, so you need not to bother about anything. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Let us hope that things get normal very soon and then we can arrange proper classes for you. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So what will be
You want to
doing
ask
in
something?
class?
Next class we will see because it will not be happening this week now. Okay. So let us see. Yeah, some of the students are having exams also. So we'll see whether we have to do some practice or we have to start permutation again. Okay. We'll let you know. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right.
So this chapter is over, right?
Yeah, this chapter is over.
Okay,
You
sir.
can practice from your school textbook. Okay. Practice from your school textbook. That is important.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Bye.